Hello there. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing advice to my younger self being disabled. I put it into two sections, one for my body, one for my mind, and I have a lot to say to my younger self, and I wish I could go back, but that's okay. I learned a lot along the way, and I have been through a lot, so I'm very thankful for everything nonetheless, but I just wish I could have said these few things. So I wish I kept running as much as I could, but I was just worried about what other people thought of me. I wish I just kept doing everything that I was able to do as much as possible, not worrying about what loved ones thought of me or even random people. It doesn't matter. I should have just kept on doing what I wanted to do. That one is the one that sticks with me most about my body. And then move, spread your toes, stretch, flex, just as much as possible. Just because you were told that you're going to be in a wheelchair does not mean that you just have to stop doing everything 100%. The term vegetable stuck with me a lot when I was younger, and I thought that it was going to be like everywhere in my body in a way, that I would just be very stagnant. So yeah, just keep on moving as much as possible, even if it's just your eyes, anything, your toes, your fingers, whatever it is, just keep moving them as much as you can. Try to keep up any good habits, like sitting up in bed by myself, and standing up while I'm brushing my teeth, and painting as much as possible. Just keep up good body routines, and as much as possible, like whatever you don't want to lose, just keep on trying to do it. That was so cool.
I saw them all sitting over there earlier.
Aww.
I got some photos.
Stretch my calves as much as possible. My calves have gotten really tight, and I never really thought that they would get as tight as they have so quickly, so I wish I just kept stretching as much as possible. Moving around on my own, just trying to do it as much as possible. Once again, trying to think of the bigger picture, trying to use what's around me as much as possible, and just trying to not get too fed up with the fact that something is difficult, and just trying to make it easier for myself. I wish I did Ayurveda a lot sooner. Ayurveda is a holistic medicine in India, and they actually helped me quite a bit with my CPK levels. CPK levels are a muscular dystrophy kind of term, I guess. Everybody has normally like 100 CPK levels is average, and a person with really bad muscular dystrophy can have 1,000 to 3,000 CPK levels. Mine were 580 when I got there, and then when I left they were 480, so I have a lot to share about my Ayurveda experience. I'm really excited about that, and I really hope I go back, because it's just so crazy that there's something else than just Western medicine, because I kind of hate Western medicine. So I wish I ate really well and drank as much fluids as possible without getting annoyed about going to the washroom, or yeah, just taking the best taking the best care of myself. Pretty much it for the body section for now. And now for the brain. So stand up for what you think is right at any given time. If something's making you uncomfortable and it's happening because of your disability, then get help for yourself. Find your voice and just try to speak up. If you think that something is happening wrongly against you, or that you're not ready for that situation to be happening, then get out of it. Help yourself as much as you possibly can. Don't tell yourself negative things or listen to others' input, except for loved ones. And even for loved ones, don't take anything too seriously, and just listen to yourself. If your brain works, then you are perfect. If you get overwhelmed, just breathe and do one thing at a time. I like to remember that. If you just don't know something, then just breathe it out and do one step at a time. It's okay to get overwhelmed. This one's my favorite one. So learn about anything that you're struggling with and learn about it a lot. Knowledge is power, and I wrote this one down twice because I loved it so much. I just really think that knowledge is power for anything that you're struggling with. Just the more knowledge about it, the more acceptance you have of it, the better you will understand it. Don't get too ahead of yourself. You only know what you know right now, so do your best for now. And never say never, because you don't know what you may think or feel like in the future. And I've surprised myself a lot by accepting certain things like this bike and my wheelchair and my walker. I've just gotten into the habit of liking to adapt and liking to make life easier for myself. And when I was younger, I was very against making life easier for myself, and which in fact made it a lot harder for me to have conversations about wanting to make life easier for myself. And yeah, I kind of just fought a lot against the thought of having a wheelchair, and I never wanted to talk about having an electric wheelchair or anything like that. And I still don't have one, but I am very interested in getting one in the near future. But yeah, just never say never, and I've surprised myself a lot. I never thought I would be so handicapped before the age of 25, and it's just something that I've really had to accept, and just know that it can always be worse. No matter what you're struggling with, it can be a lot worse. And just be happy, just be thankful for what you have and what you can do as much as possible. It might be really, really hard when you first start struggling, but the sooner that you can accept your struggles, the better. And learn about them. And also, it doesn't matter what people think of me in this wake of mine. It's a big boat. I know what I think of me, and that's perfect enough. That's well enough for me. I don't need to think about what other people think about me at all. Don't get so attached to anything. Opinions, spending too much money, social groups, the present or the future. No expectations will give you the best sometimes, and you'll be surprised that you don't actually need so much to survive. You really don't need much to survive. The sooner that you will accept certain things in life and go with the flow, life will be a lot easier. That's my favorite thing. Focus on what you're focusing on. Focus on what you're focusing on. Focus on what's going on in your brain. Learn about the patterns that are going on in your brain so that you can try to be as positive as possible, and that you are trying to focus on things that you genuinely want to be focusing on. And that's a lot harder to say when you're younger, just because you're kind of skewed by what society thinks that or tells you that you should be focusing on. But yeah, just focus on yourself and focus on what you want for yourself in the future, and like talk to yourself like your future self would, and just think about the next 5 years of what would you like to focus on, what would you like to improve on, and just keep your head straight. This one's a little bit rough, but it's the truth. Life is not fair, so you must make the most of it and find your passions. I wish that life was easy, but it's just the fact that it can't all be perfect. And yeah, the sooner that you realize that life is not fair, the easier. No expectations would maybe give you the best expectations. Sometimes it's good to have expectations, but you know what I mean, maybe. The last thing that I have to say is don't spend money on what you think that you might need. Save, save, save as much as possible. You never know when you're gonna want to go back to India and do Ayurveda for many months, or you never know if you might just fall in love with the electric wheelchair one day that you really, really want to buy. So just save up and you will make much better choices later on in the future. And I'm still new to YouTube, and I'll be making a lot more disability content. I still get overwhelmed, and I still have to remind myself all these things all the time and just remember my fullest potential. My brain and my body are a lot stronger than I think, and I still put myself down, and it's just not okay. I really need to make sure that I'm doing the best for myself, and I think that if I'm making this content like I have always wanted to make, I just haven't been able to fully invest myself into it up until now, and I just finally feel ready, so I'm really, really, really excited. So thank you so much for watching, and all the best. Big hugs to you if you need one, and please like and sub and share and give feedback. Thank you.